The next cut of meat that John is going to work with here is a beef tenderloin. Now, a beef tenderloin is strictly it's known as the psoas muscle in technical terms, and it's located in the hind quarter of the animal along the back in an area that gets very little use. Consequently, because this muscle does very little work within the animal, it's exceedingly tender. And that is why beef tenderloin is prized so highly. People love it because it has that melt in your mouth texture, and that's strictly because it's a muscle that gets very little use. Now, the first thing John is going to do is take off the area called the chain. And this is when you get a beef tenderloin from Mr. Brisket, you get those trimmings that we grind up and give to you, and it all starts right here. John is going to clean up the tenderloin a little bit, and he's peeling away a layer of fat that's basically, there's no meat in this is just useless. Now he's removing the section called the chain. When you go to wholesale clubs, you often see tenderloins in their vacuum sealed package with that chain on it, and I think they expect you to take it home and trim it yourself. Believe me, you'd rather have someone who knows what he's doing with a sharp knife, like John, take care of this for you. He's trimming away all that fat. Now he's taking off a section called the silver skin. The silver skin is very tough, and by removing this skin, what we're doing is we're preparing it so that it will cook much better and taste much better. While a beef tenderloin is always going to be tender, the flavor comes from these little flecks of fat in there. Mr. Brisket, we always like to have meat with lots of marbling. It's what makes meat taste best. Okay, and that's one thing we commonly do with beef tenderloin. The other thing we do is we cut it into fillets. And a fillet is just a fancy word for a beef tenderloin steak. I guess fillet refers to the fact that it's boneless. So there you go. Might as well cut it all up. I hope I can sell that. It's a very valuable piece of meat. One of the things that we're also able to do when you buy these fillets is we can determine the portion size. You can tell us you want 6 ounce, 8 ounce, 10 ounce, 12 ounce, and we can cut those reasonably accurately. Anyway, this is a beautiful fillet. This is, it looks to be USDA prime, judging by the marbling, and that is just going to be some spectacular eating for those people who like beef tenderloin. Now what we would do next under normal circumstances here is take this ground beef, and we take it over to the grinder, which is right over here. Now, of course, I'm going to have to clean the grinder again, but that's just something I'll do. And there you go. And what you're going to notice is he's grinding it a second time, and the reason you grind it a second time is to mix it together. So now what you have is some very finely ground beef that's properly mixed, and it's ready to go into a 1 pound package. And now, that 1 pound package of beef tenderloin that you get with your order, this is the ground stuff. This is where it comes from. Put it in, wrap it up, wrap it again in the white paper, stamp it ground beef, and boom. That's how it went from being attached to that beef tenderloin to a package ready for the end user, which is a fancy word for you, to use.